Hello, my name is Susan and I'm here for another episode of Crafting at Home from Aram Public Library. Today we are going to be making some fall candle holders, and we're going to be making these out of some very simple supplies that were purchased at Dollar Tree. So I began by buying these dollar styrofoam pumpkins. Each one came with a floral accent on the top and another little accent on the side. This was attached. I also bought a set of 12-inch candle tapers, and these are real candles, not the ones with batteries. Our tools and supplies today also include a potato peeler, a pair of scissors, and some metallic paints, and of course a couple of foam brushes. Now, in order to not ask you to sit here and watch me paint 4 layers of paint on these little pumpkins, I kind of cheated a little. So on this pumpkin, it's already taken apart, and what I did was I left one side the natural pumpkin color, and I have the other side already painted so I can show you what it will look like when it's done. Again, these are the metallic paints. I purchased them at Hobby Lobby. These are 3 to 4 layers of paint. First of all, you're covering a very dark orange, plus this is styrofoam and it soaks up the paint. So it did take a lot of paint in order to get these covered. In order to be able to get the candle to rest in here, that's what I use the potato peeler for. And I just came in here and I wanted to core out the styrofoam pumpkin. And I thought I would have to take out a lot, but I'll be honest with you, I did not. I probably only took out maybe 1/3 of the depth of the pumpkin. And then I just checked to see how the candle was going to sit in there, because one of my fears before I started this project was that it would tip over, because these candles are quite heavy. But when I put the candle in, and if you just jam it down, the pumpkin is fine. It's not going to tip over. The one thing I did learn though when I got this far is if you're going to do this project, you want to check and make sure that these pumpkins sit level before you begin the project. Now the gold one sits fine and it's level and it doesn't make the candle look crooked. You'll notice that this one is a little bit off kilter, and I suppose I could play with the candle a little bit, but we're just going to go ahead the way we are. So it is painted. I got rid of some of the styrofoam, the rest of it is compressed. So now I want to show you how I got the flower decoration back on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flower, and all I did to get it off the pumpkin was just twist it and it came out. You can see there's still some styrofoam attached here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off this big piece of plastic, which is what's holding the fabric flower together. We're just going to cut that off. There we go. And you'll notice it's going to start to come apart. So first of all, I have a couple of leaves, and then I have a fabric flower, and you'll notice the big plastic thing that's holding it together there. I'm just going to take that apart, and I am going to take out the center. Now this flower was actually 3 layers of petals, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these petals, and where there's just that single hole in the middle, I'm going to cut across so that I can get that candle to go through there. So I just folded it in half. I'm going to cut there. Then I'm going to fold it in half the other way and do the same thing. I don't know if you can see this, but there is a cross cut in there that will allow the candle to sneak through. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Now you could probably use hot glue, but we're just going to let the candle do the work for us. Now the one thing I did learn as I did this project is that the little center one, there isn't enough fabric in here in order to make it fit back in, so I just let that go. So I'm going to take my candle and I am going to go from the top. It's a little bit easier that way. And I'm just going to pull this down. And then I'm going to put the larger one on. Kind of rotate it a little so that the, oh, I'm taking this guy back off. I don't like that. I think I'm going to take them off and start over. I am going to, this one ended up with the points projecting upwards so you could see them. I don't like that. So we're going to put it on again. We're going to go from the bottom. There we go. So now the points are projecting down. And I'm going to put the other one back on. Now there isn't enough fabric in the leaves for me to be able to cut the crosses in those. So what we're going to do, because we're going to put this back in, and then we'll reposition the petals where we want them. So we're just going to take the leaves. Just going to clean that up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to put the leaf kind of there, because when that petal goes in, when that candle goes in, it's going to pull it down. And then I'm going to put the other one. All I'm doing is pushing it partially into that hole that we created. And then I'm going to put the candle back in. There we go. Now you can just push those petals down so they're closer. So I can see the leaves there. And then I'm just going to take this, and even though it's painted, that hole is still there. And I can just put this floral accent right back in. Okay. I'm going to try and position this so that you see the copper. So there you go, fall candle holders made from styrofoam pumpkins, a beautiful way to welcome fall. Enjoy.